Hi, today we're going to go beyond estimating the size of an angle to actually measuring angles with protractors and an angle ruler. So let's start 1.4, measuring angles. All right, to get started, we're going to start with this tool here, a protractor. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this protractor, the center circle here that's cut out, there's usually a hole here. So we know that that's where we're going to take this and line it up with vertex of the angle. All right. Then we're going to line up the initial side with the line here at the bottom. Not with the lower edge, okay, but the line here in the protractor. So we have our vertex lined up, we have our initial side lined up. All right, now all we have to do is go right over here and we can see that we have a 50-degree angle. So from here to here is 50 degrees. All right, let's go and have you try this one. Here's the angle here. All right, I'm going to line it up, vertex again, and in this case, here's my 90 degree right here, if you look at where the pen is, and I've lined it here, there's 90 degrees. So we can see that this angle here is going past 90 degrees. All right, so I'm going to take this and let that end of the ray point and tell me that this is 130-degree angle. All right, so we have an acute angle, okay, we have an obtuse angle. And remember, obtuse angles are larger than 90 degrees, whereas acute angles are smaller than 90 degrees. Okay, so let's use our protractor one more time to go and measure the angles within this triangle that we have here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take and line up the protractor using the T as my vertice. I'm going to line up my initial side as the T to U, and I'm going to use T to S to help me find the measurement of this angle. Now, I'm not going to use this set of ruler numbers here, okay, because I know that this is an acute angle, not an obtuse angle. So I'm going on beyond this. I'm going to go here and find that this is actually a 40-degree angle, okay? So I'm using the outer number guide here to help me to find out how many degrees this angle measures. So this is 40 degrees. Okay, now let's use the U as our vertice. I'm going to line up the U to T, all right, as my initial side, and I'm going to use U to S to help me figure out what this angle is. Let me get it just right. And as I do so, I'm going to find out that this angle measures 60 degrees. Okay, now I want you to pay attention here. We're going to add these angles up to find something out about triangles while we're at it, just for fun. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the paper around. I'm going to put the S as my vertice that I'm going to use. I'm going to use S to T as my initial side. All right, and I'm going to go off of this, and then once again, as I go past this, I'm going to find out that this is an 80-degree angle. All right, now if we have 60 degrees, let me turn it this way, and we have 40 degrees, and we have 80 degrees. All right, right away I know that 40 and 60 make 100. Okay, plus 80 more is 180 degrees. Okay, A triangle will always come out to a measurement of total angles equaling 180 degrees. So all the angles in a triangle will always equal 180 degrees. So if we found out, for instance, that, let's turn this around, that this one was 60 and this was 40, I wouldn't even need to measure this one. I would know that this one is 80 degrees without even measuring, because I know that all the angles in a triangle measure up to 180. Okay? All right, awesome. Now, let's go ahead and learn how to use this handy-dandy tool called an angle ruler. Now, an angle ruler really truly just works about the same way that a protractor does. All right, I'm going to take and put this little rivet here, this hole in the ruler, and I'm going to put it right there where the vertex is. I'm going to line up the initial side, and then you kind of can't see it, but this is actually looking the other way. And we find out that here's 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. So this measures out to be 20 degrees. Okay? And we're going to always use this inside guide here. All right? What's nice about this little angle ruler, and lots of them are this way, it also lets you measure the length of a line based on giving you a ruler, and both in customary and in metrics. Okay, let's do another one. All right, so we're going to line up the circle at the vertex. We're going to line up the initial side, all right, with the line, and then we're going to move this and line up the ending side here to help us find out to measure this angle. So again, 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. Each one of these in between here equals 5 degrees, 125, 130 degree angle. So this one's 135 degrees. All right, we'll do one more, and I think you'll be ready to do this yourself. So again, put the hole over the vertex, make sure it's centered, line up your initial side, and then we're going to move the ruler over here and line it up with the ending part of the angle here, where the angle ends up. And we're going to make that sure that's really lined up really nicely. And then we're going to start counting. Here's 15, here's 30, here's 45, there's one more notch. It's a 50-degree angle. All right? Now, that should get you going. A couple other terms I want to go over really quickly are complementary angles and supplementary angles. I'm going to draw some lines in here really quickly. Okay, now complementary angles. This, as we know, that this is 90 degrees. I know that this angle right here is 20 degrees. So if this is 20 degrees and this whole angle this way is 90 degrees, all right, then what is this angle right here? Well, if the whole thing's 90, I can go 90 minus 20, and that tells me that that is 70 degrees. We could also check it. Let's check it with our protractor. Okay, I'm going to line up in the hole. There's my vertex, there's my initial side, and sure enough, look it, 70 degrees. Okay, so we know that this angle here is 70 degrees. All right, so when two angles add up to 90 degrees, they're considered complementary angles. Okay, all right, now let's look at it from the perspective of finding some supplementary angles. Now, supplementary angles, okay, now we know already that from here to here is 180 degrees. That's our straight angle. Okay, we have found out from here to here is 50 degrees. Okay, so to find this angle from here to here, I can either use my protractor or I can go 180 minus 50, and that's going to give me a 130 degree angle. Well, let's check and see if that happens to be true. So I'm going to line up the vertice in the hole here. There we go. I'm going to line up my vertice. I've lined up my initial side, and I'm going to look over this way. Oh my goodness, 130 degrees. We were right. Okay, so this angle is 130 degrees. Two angles adding up to 180 degrees are called supplementary angles. Okay, well, I think that is going to get you going, and you'll be able to do a great job on your assignment. Thanks for watching.